All right, y'all. Let me. What I'm gonna say is probably gonna be a little bit controversial, and it's probably gonna be some issues across the board. But y'all know me by now. I'm gonna say it for what it is. Health is not about nothing that they have told you. It's not. Health is about what works for you, and works for your body, and works for your peace and your mentality. So, a lot of women and men are going through many different issues, and some of them can be going on simultaneously at the same time. Now, I just seen a video of a guy that's talking about weight, and everybody is so obsessed with weight and obsessed with their body image, but you care nothing about your mental health. You care nothing about your psychological health, your self-esteem, self-worth, self-values, how you believe in yourself, your confidence, your respect for yourself. Y'all ain't even worried about the fact of, can you maintain that? A lot of y'all are setting very unrealistic goals that just ain't working. Not only that, your relationships ain't nowhere near where they need to be. A lot of y'all are still single. You don't have a man, you don't have a female. A lot of y'all are going through mental and psychological and emotional warfare, as well as spiritual warfare. You are dealing with damage from people that just don't like you, breakups, mommy, daddy, child dynamics, sibling rivalry, golden child, siblings. Health is not just about what you look like. I don't know why y'all are obsessed with what somebody look like. That has nothing to do with their character. It got nothing to do with their behavior, actions, choices, decisions. It ain't even about whether or not they can, as far as their critical thinking, common sense, and common judgment, the way they rate, the way they, weigh pros and cons and consequences and repercussions and karma. There is nobody in the world that's healthy, really. Honestly, we're all basically unhealthy in one way or another. Because even if you are society standards of health, that don't mean your society standard of success. That don't mean your society standards of beauty. Does not mean your society standards when it comes to relationships. It's a little bit more complicated than that. And I want y'all to understand that. I get it. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be physically healthy. But that does not mean that internally that you're healthy. You got to fix your internal health before you can fix this. You got to fix your internal health inside. Once you fix the inside of yourself in all aspects, then you can work on the external, because the external will thank you for it. So please stop making it seem like because I'm externally beautiful doesn't mean you don't have low self-esteem, low self-worth. Doesn't mean you're not suffering from depression and anxiety. It doesn't mean any of that. So what I want people to understand is, I get it. We all want to be healthy. We all want to be well. But the question is not that. It's the question of, how do we maintain our peace and quiet and tranquility? How do we maintain our abundance and our prosperity? Our doing the right thing, which is righteousness, righteousness, your morals, your values, your principles, your ethics, critical thinking, common sense, and common judgment. Keeping your internal health, as far as internally and externally, as far as what you consume and what you acknowledge based on what the five senses present to you. You also got to look at your relationships, past and present, and how they have impacted and affected your life. You also got to look at the fact of the matter. You have so many people that want to see people miserable, lonely, and bitter. I do not know why they want people to stay, lonely and bitter, but they just do. So like I said, I get it. I do. I absolutely understand it. And there's nothing wrong with wanting any of that. But if you're not internally healthy, then you're not going to be healthy at all. Because the external doesn't matter if you're sick. Doesn't matter if you're going through cancer, leukemia, all of these diabetes, psychological, as far as bipolar, anorexia, bulimia, self-esteem, self-value, all of these different things internally. You have to work within in order for the outer to be healthy. Because what determines how long you live and what determines your peace, quiet, and tranquility is internal. Y'all need to work on that first. Work on your internal health. Work on what you eat, what you drink, everything you consume. Everything you consume. That is how you heal, because you have to research. You got to be educated. You got to be knowledgeable to be healthy. And I know it's something a lot of y'all don't be wanting to hear. A lot of y'all go to the gym, you work out, but not once do you work on your internal health. You don't work on it at all. And you need to. You need to work on it, because that's what's going to matter. And I know that's like hard for y'all, but you really need to work on that. So I get it. Being healthy isn't easy, but in the end, it's worth it, because that determines how long you live. All the rest of this stuff don't even matter if it's damaging your internal health. If it's damaging your mental, psychological, emotional, spiritual. If it's damaging your internal physical health, then none of this doesn't matter at this point. So I don't care what you do to work out. I don't care what you do. But every choice, every decision, every action and behavior determines whether you're healthy or not. Point blank, period.